Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants lost to the Rays 2-1 today, and they got a fairly decent start from Keaton Winn, who went 5 innings, allowing 2 runs. The only run they were able to put on the board, though, was Jung-Hoo Lee scoring off of a wild pitch. It's been a really bad start to the season for the Giants, and after the first week, it just looked like it might go better, but things have been spiraling downward after they got swept by the Dodgers, and most recently, prior to opening this series against the Rays, they were defeated in 2 games of 3 by the Nationals. Managed to win 1 game, but the Nats took the other 2. And Tuesday, I think, was the biggest disaster ever. Just the fact that they had the bases loaded in the 9th inning, and there was just no better time for a comeback, and it just didn't happen. Line out and then double play. And honestly, that's just unacceptable, to not be able to get runs home when you have the bases loaded and no outs and desperately need them. I mean, that very easily could at least have been an extra inning game, so we're just seeing the Giants not deliver when it matters. And I think to really understand what's going on here, it's not something you really understand unless you get a fundamental principle in baseball. And that's essentially that whether you're talking about individual players or about teams, it's very critical that you deliver results when it matters. And that's just a fundamental concept that not everybody even believes, but you just don't really understand things the way they truly are unless you grasp it. And the Giants are actually among the league leaders in exit velocity. Some numbers seem to be in their favor. Like, average exit velocity for the Giants is pretty high compared to the rest of the league. But it does seem that they're just hitting balls right at people and not getting it done. And stranding runners on base has just been another huge thing that has been killing them. And the primary example was Tuesday when they loaded the bases in the 9th inning and couldn't capitalize. It ended on a double play. But that isn't the only example. That they're not able to get runners home, and timely hitting is just not showing up as a thing for them. But the main principle here is just that results have to be delivered when it matters, and there are just no excuses that can say, well, you don't have control over when you get hits, because, I mean, timely hitting is a very crucial part of baseball, and we're not, there's no way to attribute it to luck or to anything other than what it really is. And that includes not grounding into game-ending double plays, like, absolutely. But I think today we're just seeing a continuation of just the bad stuff, in that they had a fairly good pitching performance from Keaton Winn in the bullpen after him, but they were not able to get a run on the board. So it's just the situation where it's not that the Giants are not able to put up any good metrics. It's just that they don't tell the full story on their own. And that's why they have such a terrible start to their season. And it's new manager now. It's Bob Melvin, and at least he realizes what has to change. And he said, we got to hit them where they ain't. He really said that. I mean, I think the one positive here is that at least he is not attributing this to bad luck or anything, but he's realizing that they have to have this game in their control, and there's no way around it. So it's just the start of his time with the Giants for Melvin, and we got to see where this goes. I mean, at least he seems to realize what the problem is and what has to change, and that definitely is better than nothing. But they've been dropping some pretty serious games that they shouldn't drop, and they've been out of contention now for way too long. So absolutely things have to change, and their rotation is still capable of being very decent, and we've seen guys throw some very good starts, and as of right now, it definitely still seems to be the case that Jordan Hicks has made his case as a starter, and he's not going out of the rotation anytime soon. He's really adapted to that change. That's gone in the Giants' favor. They're really, they actually have a rotation now, but it just seems like they can't score runs when they need to score runs. And even though Jung-Hoo Lee's batting average has dropped, you expect some fluctuation. I'm still convinced he's going to end up having a great season. And I can't promise that same thing for either Matt Chapman or Jorge Soler. In that, I would have to say we wait and see. But Jung-Hoo Lee is the guy that I'm confident he will have a great season and be back to getting on base and end up with a very high batting average at least, and probably very good defensive metrics as well. So I think that's all, except that they need to come back and take this series against the Rays. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.